Have you ever felt like something is wrong with your body, but you can't quite put your finger on it? Have you ever had the feeling that your body is trying to warn you, but you just don't know how to interpret the signals? Now imagine discovering that your prostate is about to stop working, and that your body has been screaming for help for a long time, just in ways you never realized. What would you do if you knew that 5 silent signs that most men ignore appear before the prostate completely collapses? Could it be that that strange discomfort you felt a few days ago when urinating was already one of those warnings? Or maybe that subtle change in your energy, which you thought was just tiredness? Could it be that it has a much more serious origin than you imagined? What if it's true that your body has been giving you clues for weeks or months and you just didn't know how to listen? In this video, you will discover the 5 signs that usually appear before the prostate stops working. Signs that most men don't care about, don't comment on, much less investigate, until it's too late. And the scariest thing, many of these signs have nothing to do with pain or urine, which makes everything even more dangerous. This content is a real wake-up call for men who value their own health. So if you've made it this far, stay tuned, because what's revealed now could make all the difference between discovering a problem in time or discovering it too late. Imagine losing your chance to avoid something serious just because you ignored a small sign. This is how the story begins of many men who, due to lack of guidance or fear, stop paying attention to their own bodies. The prostate doesn't stop working overnight. It warns. It sends signals, often subtle, that go unnoticed because no one has ever talked about them clearly. This silence is what worries the most. The problem is that when you finally discover what is happening, time is no longer on your side. But here, on this channel, we break that silence. Here we speak man to man, with responsibility, with truth, and with the aim of saving lives. Because taking care of your prostate means taking care of yourself, your future, your dignity. Don't wait for time to pass. This channel was created with one purpose: to prevent you from discovering prostate problems when it is too late. Sign up now, because here you will have access to vital information to protect your men's health. When something starts to fail inside your body, especially in the prostate region, the body does not remain silent, he warns. But these warnings are not always obvious. One of the most overlooked and dangerous signs is linked to how often you need to urinate at night. Many men find it normal to get up once, twice, or even 3 times in the morning to go to the bathroom. They claim it is because of their age or because they drank water before going to sleep. But what few know is that this could be your prostate's first silent cry for help. And if this cry is ignored, it can turn into an irreversible collapse. The problem is that this symptom seems harmless. After all, who has never woken up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom? But the difference is in the constancy. When this starts happening several times a week, it's a sign that something isn't working as it should. The urinary stream weakens. The bladder never seems to empty completely, and little by little, the nighttime routine becomes a torment. And behind this discomfort, a serious condition may be forming: abnormal enlargement of the prostate, also known as benign prostatic hyperplasia. This increase begins to compress the urethra, making it difficult for urine to exit, generating this repetitive night cycle that, in addition to damaging your sleep, is wearing down your physical and mental health. And here comes an even more serious warning. The longer you delay in seeking help, the greater the risk of this increase becoming a real obstacle to your quality of life. It is no exaggeration to say that this can lead to repeated urinary infections, bladder stone formation, and, in extreme cases, kidney failure. This all starts with a simple sign: waking up to urinate more often than usual. But what turns this into something really serious is the attitude of ignoring, postponing, pretending it's normal. Imagine the impact of this on your life, in your marriage, in your energy throughout the day, in your ability to work and live willingly. Everything begins to slowly crumble, like a wall that cracks from the inside without anyone noticing. And when the structure finally gives way, it may be too late to rebuild. So don't wait for this collapse to arrive. If you feel like you're waking up more often than usual to urinate, don't treat it as something common. Treat it like an alarm, a silent cry for help from your prostate. And the sooner you comply with this request, the greater the chances of avoiding something serious in the future. Now, stop for a moment and reflect. How many nights have you woken up bothered by this need? How many times have you thought, I'll see about this later? Know that every time you postpone, you are creating space for a silent problem to grow within you. There's no shame in seeking help. On the contrary, it is an act of courage, intelligence, and self-love. Caring for prostate health isn't just about avoiding disease. It's about ensuring a long, active, and happy life. And that's what you deserve. Now, if this content made you reflect, if at any point you felt that this could be happening to you, write in the comments, I heard the warning and I will take care of my health. This way, I will know that you are truly committed to protecting your men's health. Imagine feeling uncomfortable pressure in your perineum area, right between your anus and genitals, every time you sit down. Sometimes it's a strange twinge. Other times it's a dull pain that seems to have no explanation. Most men ignore it, thinking it's because of their position, the way they sit, or their tight pants. But what if I told you that this strange sensation could be a silent warning that your prostate is about to stop working? This is exactly what many doctors are trying to warn about, but almost no one listens, or worse, takes it seriously. The body speaks. He always spoke. But you need to know how to listen. This pressure when sitting isn't just random discomfort. It may be directly related to prostate inflammation, a process that starts slowly, without rushing, but with a very clear objective, destroying your quality of life. When the prostate becomes inflamed or begins to grow abnormally, it puts pressure on surrounding structures. The pudendal nerve, the pelvic muscles, the urethra, everything there is compressed and begins to respond with pain or discomfort. And one of the most common situations where this symptom appears is precisely when sitting. Most men only realize something is wrong when the pain becomes constant. But the problem started long before that. Chronic prostate inflammation is sneaky. She doesn't arrive with noise. She doesn't send a warning on her cell phone. It settles in silently, day after day, until it turns something as simple as sitting in a chair into a persistent nuisance. And when this happens, many are already at the stage where prostate function is compromised. Now imagine that this untreated inflammation continues to spread. It can affect your bladder, your testicles, and even compromise sexual function. That's right. Pain when sitting can be the first link in a chain that becomes heavier over time, dragging your energy, pleasure, and health down to rock bottom. And worst of all, most men keep quiet. They feel ashamed to talk about it, or they believe it will pass. But it doesn't happen. It grows inside, like a time bomb waiting for the moment to explode. It's no exaggeration to say that this symptom could be the first real sign of a breakdown in your prostate. And if you thought only bleeding or difficulty urinating were warning signs, now you know that pain when sitting is even more insidious because it seems innocent. But she isn't. It's telling you, hey, something's wrong in here. Pay attention. And if you ignore it, you allow evil to advance. Now I ask you, how many times have you felt this discomfort and simply thought it was nothing? How many times have you gotten up from your chair with discomfort at the base of your body and carried on with your life, pretending you didn't feel it? Well, know that each of these times may have been a warning that you didn't hear. But now you're listening. You are here, seeking to understand, protecting yourself. And that puts you ahead of thousands of other men who will only find out when it's too late. And that's why I want to make an important request of you. If you've ever felt this strange discomfort when sitting, comment below, I felt it and I'm not going to ignore it anymore. This way, I will know that you are awake, aware that your body is trying to help you protect yourself. This simple attitude could be the beginning of a change that will save your health. Have you ever noticed how some men start to lose the desire to do simple, everyday things and can't explain why? Little by little, They become slower, discouraged, have difficulty concentrating, and even have a feeling of constant weakness. Many think it's stress, accumulated tiredness, or even old age. But the truth can be much more serious than it seems, and it may be starting in the prostate, even without pain or obvious signs. There's a silent symptom that goes unnoticed, but which may be one of the first warnings that the prostate is stopping working: persistent exhaustion. It's not an ordinary tiredness. It's that type of fatigue that doesn't seem to go away, even after a good night's sleep. And what does this have to do with the prostate? All. When the prostate begins to malfunction, there is a change in the body's hormonal and inflammatory balance. This directly affects the production of testosterone, the hormone that regulates male vitality. With testosterone low, the body enters a state of internal alert. Willingness disappears, muscle strength reduces, and the brain starts to work more slowly. The man feels that he is physically present, but his energy seems depleted. And it's not psychological, it's biological. Chronic prostate inflammation affects more than just the urinary system. It creates a domino effect that shakes the entire body from the inside out. You know that man who has always been active, who did everything with determination, and suddenly starts avoiding commitments, loses interest in sexual relations, can't concentrate even to watch a movie. This may be a direct reflection of an unhealthy prostate. And what's worse, many seek help only when the impact reaches the most sensitive part of their masculinity. When the body begins to fail in a more visible way, such as difficulty urinating or sexual impotence, then despair sets in. But the truth is that it all started much earlier. The body gave signals, and this inexplicable exhaustion is one of them. It's the body begging for help, saying, "There's something wrong inside and you're not listening." Most ignore it, or worse, try to compensate with energy drinks, excessive coffee, or over-the-counter medications. But the problem isn't in the head, it's in the prostate, and only a detailed examination can confirm this. If you're watching this video, stop and reflect. Have you been feeling this constant exhaustion? Have you ever found yourself irritated, impatient, unwilling to talk or do what used to be enjoyable? Your body may be trying to warn you of a problem that goes far beyond simple tiredness. Don't ignore it. Don't think it's nonsense. Because every day that passes without a diagnosis is one more day for inflammation to deepen and compromise vital functions. And if you've already been through this or are experiencing it now, write here in the comments, "I felt this tiredness and now I understand why." This will not only show that you are paying attention to your health, but it will also help other men who are going through the same situation and think they are alone. Your experience could open someone's eyes and keep their prostate from reaching the point of no return. If you've made it this far, it's because you understand the gravity of what's at stake. And more important than that, you have demonstrated a real commitment to your health. Few have that courage. Many prefer to ignore the signs, push with their stomachs, postpone the appointment, pretend that everything is fine. But you chose the path of consciousness, and that in itself is already a victory. In this video, you discovered that symptoms that seem silly, like discomfort when sitting, slight discomfort in the perineum, a subtle change in the way your body responds, can actually be silent cries from your prostate for help. And this knowledge can be the difference between dealing with something simple now or facing something serious later. This is where many men get lost. They think, "Oh, this will pass," or "It's no big deal." And when they finally realize it, the prostate is already so compromised that the only way is surgery. And you know, once prostate function starts to fail, it rarely returns to normal. It's like trying to repair an already damaged engine after driving kilometers with expired oil. It's hard work, it's expensive, and it never works like it used to. But the good news is that now you have a chance to do something different. And that's why this video was so important, because it didn't just bring information, it brought prevention, clarity, and a call to action. And this call needs to resonate with you from now on. Taking care of the prostate is not something that should be left for later. And now, today, not tomorrow. And don't be fooled into thinking that only those of advanced age need to worry. Prostatic changes can start early, sometimes at 40, in some cases even earlier, especially when there is a family history or habits that favor inflammation, such as poor diet, sedentary lifestyle, smoking, or even constant stress, which many people underestimate. The body gives signals. It's up to us to listen. So here's the most important request I can make to you. Make an appointment with a urologist. You don't need to wait to feel pain. You don't need to wait for your sex life to change, and much less wait for symptoms to worsen. You deserve to live healthily. You deserve to have peace of mind. And this only happens when you take control of your health responsibly. And if you're embarrassed or afraid to go to the doctor, know that this is more common than you might think, but it cannot be greater than your desire to live well. The shame passes. The disease, if ignored, does not. So share this video with other men you love, friends, siblings, parents, co-workers. Many of them are currently experiencing symptoms that they ignore, and you can be the warning instrument in these people's lives. A simple message can save an entire future. And now, I want to speak directly to you, who has stayed with me until now. If you've made it this far, congratulations. This shows that you really care about your health and want to avoid problems before it's too late. I want to invite you to leave a comment saying that you watched the full video so that I can get to know you and know who is really committed to taking care of their own men's health. Also, check now if you are already subscribed to the channel. If not yet, click the subscribe button. Like this video if it helped you in any way. Share with someone who needs to see this. The more people are warned, the fewer men will suffer the consequences of ignorance. And last but not least, most men only realize that something is wrong with their prostate when it's too late. In the first pinned comment, I left a link to a playlist that can prevent this from happening to you. Watch now before it's too late.